Welcome to our video about space. First of all, the moon! Excuse me, sorry. The moon. That delightful white ball that brings us such marvelous delights like the tides and nighttime. Did you know that the moon is 4.5 billion years old? Some scientists think it may even be older than the Earth itself. What could you possibly get the moon for its 4.5 billionth birthday? If you're thinking maybe socks or a nice suave jumper, reconsider, as the moon is positively massive. It's over 2,000 miles wide. The surface of the moon itself is actually around the same size as the entire continent of Africa. Despite being so large it could win gold at a very massive things contest, the moon seems pretty small most of the time when we look at it way up there in the sky. That's because the moon sits around 384,000 miles away from us here on Earth. As a result, it's generally considered a bad place to go on holiday because of this fact. It could take you 130 days to get there in a car. That's not even counting rest stops. And once you get there, there's nothing to stare at but dead volcanoes and impact craters, which means a very, very awkward 130-day car journey on the way back with your family. The moon goes through phases, and no kids, I don't mean phases where there's a period of time where they really, really super liked One Direction, completely thought it was awesome, but it's totally over it by now. No, it's far more interesting than that. Ever notice the moon looks different depending on what time of month it is? Sometimes it looks like a big white biscuit. Other times it seems like it's not even there at all. And now and then it resembles an eerie white banana. Woo! But don't worry, it takes 29.5 days for the moon to go through all of these different phases as it orbits around the Earth. The moon doesn't emit any light itself, so what we actually see is light reflecting from the sun off the moon when it's at different points in its orbit. Speaking of the sun, in addition to helping us view the moon, which my friends over at the Moon Watchers fan club absolutely love, it is also the single most important part of our solar system. It gives us warmth, light, and importantly, allows for life to exist. I don't know about you kids, but I'm rather a big fan of being alive, so thanks, sun. But what is this sun? It's actually a star, would you believe? Our closest star, as a matter of fact, and all the planets in our solar system orbit around it. When you look out at night and see those stars in the sky, just think each of those is actually a sun, light years away, with its own planets and moons. So, I don't know if you guys have heard the scuttlebutt, but apparently this sun character is actually quite warm. Incredibly warm. Its surface is 5,500 degrees Celsius, and its core is 13,600,000 degrees. I take back what I say about the moon. The sun would be a far worse place to holiday. It's further away, and you run a very severe risk of sunburn, or bursting into flames. But fear not, kids, it's not all sun and moon up here in space. The solar system is also home to a wide variety of planets. Everyone loves planets. We humans are particularly fond of this planet, Earth, and that's where most of our stuff is, including cats, but also asparagus. Swings and roundabouts. But here, there are other planets in the solar system, guys. Let's start with the ones closest to the sun and move backwards. First up, Mercury. It's closest to the sun, making it incredibly hot, but its orbit is quite strange and slow, so scientists actually believe that parts of the planet are covered in ice. Venus, the hottest of all the planets. That's because it has a very thick, heavy atmosphere comprised of nasty stuff like carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. Alright, imagine being trapped in a closet full of smelly socks. Alright, Venus is nothing like that, but it's a very, very horrible place, and don't go there. Earth, as mentioned, it's got loads of stuff, including trees and my stamp collection. Very nice place, shame about the weather. Mars, sadly there doesn't seem to be any aliens there waiting to invade us, which is possibly a good thing, but Mars is a captivating place full of wonder and mystery, which has enchanted writers, philosophers, and scientists for thousands of years. Humans still haven't set foot on Mars, but if any of you bright young spurts manage to make it up there before me, please send me a postcard. Jupiter, biggest planet there is. 318 times bigger than the Earth, in fact. Saturn, this one is very recognizable. Look at those rings. They are originally thought to be moons, but they're actually made up of countless tiny particles. Countless means we can't count them or don't want to bother trying, so don't bother trying. Uranus, the coldest in the solar system. And finally, Neptune. Last but not least, Neptune has the distinction of being the planet furthest away from the sun, but also being the windiest planet. No one wants to admit to being the windiest anything. Poor Neptune. It probably just had too much dinner. If you want to remember how to remember the order of the planets, just use this helpful phrase. My very elegant mother just served us nachos. If your mother isn't very elegant like mine, or maybe you just don't like nachos, why not try my very evil mother just sat upon Nathan. I'm sorry, Nathan, but she's evil and she hates nachos. And also, we gotta mention this one, Pluto. Alas, Pluto, you may have heard it in the past. It used to be a planet, now it's a dwarf planet. Pluto's like that guy who gets picked for the football team and then the match actually starts and he's just asked to go make the tea instead. Sorry, Pluto. But hey guys, you want to learn more about space? There's plenty more to find out.